Okay, so we just saw the phrase burn the midnight oil. It means to stay up late at night or work on a project or a task. And this phrase comes from the old days when people used oil lamps instead of the electric lights we have now. So our example sentence is, I'm burning the midnight oil to finish my homework for tomorrow.
Okay, now I guess that's similar to another phrase, burn the candle at both ends.
Burn the candle at both ends, true.
Yeah, what do we use that for? We kind of use it to mean like you're working in the day and at the night as well.
I think so.
Kind of you're at work doing something, or?
It was you needed more light in the darkness.
Oh, okay, so you kind of light both, you kind of put the candle sideways and...
I suppose so.
That could work.
But I think it's... you're using up all the energy you have.
Right, yeah, you're burning all of your stuff. Okay.
You're using everything you have, so the time will be shorter in the end.
That's right. Okay, so we just saw a kind of a complicated word. You may not even recognize that word, NaNoWriMo. And the article explains what it is. It says National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo for short. So NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month for short, has taken place every November since 1999. Now there I just used the phrase for short to explain something, and we use it when we're saying that we're using a shorter way to say something that's very long or a little bit longer. For example, my full name is Patrick, but I just go by Pat for short.
Okay, our next phrasal verb is take place, and that means to happen or occur. And our example sentence is February 29th, or leap year, takes place every 4 years.
Okay, so this challenge, it's been going on for quite a while now, like 18 odd years. But what is it? The article says it, so NaNoWriMo, challenges people to write 50,000 words in November. Okay, pretty difficult, right? Now, let's go back to those numbers. November, of course, has 30 days. So if you divide 50,000 by 30, you get the number of words you need to write every day. And that basically ends up as 1,667, the number I quoted earlier. It's not exactly that, there are fractions, but if you write 1,667 words every day for 30 days, you'll finish the 50,000.
It's a good thing it's not during February because you would only have 28 days.
Shorter, yeah.
Except during leap year.
More numbers.
Okay, the article says, to achieve this goal, writers must develop good writing habits, ignore their inner critics, and most importantly, just keep going. All right, so we have the verb develop. It's D-E-V-E-L-O-P, develop. And to develop means to make something increase or grow. We also sometimes use this word to mean create and expand. So our example sentence is, my brother developed his music skills when he took flute lessons. And that's true. My brother really did take flute lessons.
Good for him. Okay, so developing good writing habits is one thing, and then we talked about your inner critic. Now, let's look at the first word in that, inner, I-N-N-E-R, inner. It's an adjective, and this word means inside another thing. And when we use it in this way, we mean inside ourselves. So we can use it to mean the thoughts and the feelings we have, but we never or rarely say or talk about out loud. So you kind of have your inner thoughts and maybe you go, okay, better not say that. I'll leave it as an inner thought. Now in comic books, for example, our sentence says comic book characters have thought bubbles to express their inner thoughts, and they look different from the speech bubbles they use for what they're actually saying. Now let's take a look at the word critic.
Okay, critic is a noun. It's spelled C-R-I-T-I-C, critic. And a critic is a person who gives a negative opinion of something. Often a critic will be very negative or critical about many things. So our example sentence is, critics of the politician say he is not doing his job well.
So here we're talking about our inner critics. So what do we mean by inner critic?
It would be how you feel about yourself, especially the negative feelings you have about your own your own writing and your own achievements.
So I guess it's kind of like the inner voice that you write something and then you look at it and go, oh God, that's so bad. Okay.
Exactly.
That is your inner critic. But if you want to write this much every day for 30 days, you really have to turn that person off. Because if you listen to it, you'll go, okay, delete that line, write it again, delete that page, write it again. You don't have time to do that when you're trying to write 50,000 words in NaNoWriMo. So let's move on to talk about the event itself. The article says NaNoWriMo is a global event. The word global is spelt G-L-O-B-A-L, global, and it's an adjective, and it means involving or affecting people or places all around the world or the globe. So a global company, for example, has offices in the US, Europe, Japan, Australia, and so on. Here's another example. The movie had a global release, so it was out in theaters on the same day in every country.
Okay, the article says in 2016, over 9 million people worldwide took part. Worldwide is very similar to global. It can be an adjective and it can also be an adverb. So it means reaching or extending throughout the world. So our adverb example sentence is, some books are so popular they sell worldwide. And our adjective example sentence is, sports events like the Olympics reach a worldwide audience.
Okay, so we're talking here about people worldwide taking part. To take part in something, you do that thing. For example, you get involved in a game, an activity, or an event. Another way to say it is that you participate.
All right, our article says it's run by a nonprofit company that wants to encourage people, especially kids, to write. Nonprofit is an adjective, and a nonprofit organization's main goal is to do something that does not involve making a profit. That is, more money than they need to cover their expenses. So most nonprofit organizations do charity work for people, animals, the environment, things like that. And our example sentence is, the Red Cross is a nonprofit organization that gives help to people during disasters such as earthquakes.
Now we can also use the word non-profit as a noun, I think.
That's true.
Just to mean a company that isn't trying to make money. Okay, so the article continues looking at NaNoWriMo, the event, and says there is a big social element to NaNoWriMo too. There's a big social element. So here we're using the word element, E-L-E-M-E-N-T, element, it's a noun, and we're using it to mean an essential part of something, often a part that gives the overall thing a particular character. So, if you think about a movie, the elements in a movie, we've got the acting, the story, the sound effects, the special effects, the music, and so on. If you didn't have one of these things, the movie would be kind of strange. Imagine a movie with
It would just be different.
Just very, or different, yes. A movie with no sound, yeah, like the silent movies. A movie with no talking, possible, but as you say, different. Here's an example sentence. The love story between the two characters is an important element of the film. So NaNoWriMo has this social element. You don't need to just be by yourself writing. What else can happen?
Okay, so if you don't want to stay home and write alone, you can go to write-ins. So the article says, people get together for write-ins at cafes or challenge each other to online word races. So this word write-in is a noun, and it's a meeting in which a group of writers get together and work on their stories. And I went to one of these one time.
Yeah, I've done it myself.
But I don't think I got too much work done.
Okay, why not? Just
I think it was maybe too distracting or
too much
too
talk,
intimidating.
you want to chat and socialize.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I do my writing better with music, and if I'm listening to music, I'm not going to socialize, and so why go? Okay.
Exactly.
So we also saw an online word sprint or a word race. This is where you challenge maybe somebody you know who's doing it and say, hey, 5 minutes, write as many words as possible, time it and then use some kind of counter, and whoever gets the most words written wins. Just kind of a fun way to encourage each other to keep working on your stories. Okay, now more about the non-profit organization who runs NaNoWriMo. The article says the company also works with bookstores, libraries, and schools to promote writing and books in general. The phrase in general means as a whole, and we use this when we want to mean a whole subject or topic and everything about it. For example, the company wants to get people writing, reading, and interested in anything to do with books.
Yeah, my mother works in a library. I think I'll ask her if they do any
Yeah,
write-ins
run
there.
an event, exactly, yeah.
If you've ever thought of writing a book, why not challenge yourself this November?
So there we've seen the word challenge, which can be, as we said, it can be a verb, can be a noun. As a verb, it means to do something that's sort of difficult. You know, it's not going to be easy, it's doable, but you'll have to work hard or try hard and just kind of really push yourself to do it. What about challenge as a noun?
That's more like a goal, I'd say.
Something...
So something you aspire to do and you take all the steps to achieve it.
Yep, so we can say something is a big challenge as a noun. We are challenging ourselves to do it. If we want to use that like an adjective, we can describe something as challenging. Yep. Or you could say, I'm really challenged by this. So remember, with the ed verb, you're describing kind of yourself or how you feel. The ing adjective ending, not a verb ending, adjective ending, is describing something. Okay, well, that question is the end of the article. Why not challenge yourself to do the NaNoWriMo book writing challenge? And that is going to take us right into today's For You Chat question.